It is Friday morning, June 27th. Let's do some art journaling. Welcome to my desk. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and I am ready to do some art journaling. Yep, I'm going to deconstruct a book. I don't know what else I'll be doing, but I'm going to be working in the journal that we created using the papers from Jen Fiddly Bits. Let's take a something here and put right there to cover that glare on the glass. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Let me get over here to my channel and come into the live stream. I might have to switch devices. I've only got 47% on this device. I might need a new charger. Yeah. And there's Jacqueline. Howdy, Jacqueline. The everyone is me. But if you will leave your cell information right here at the top, I will pin it and folks will see it when they come in. Good morning, Jacqueline. It's good to see you. It is so good to see you. I've missed you over the last few weeks, but you've been in my heart. We have to go to town this afternoon. I'm hoping to be back by your time, but I don't think we will because you're an hour later, and my brother doesn't want to go in the morning. So, but I will pop in when we get home, or if I'm able to pop in and say hello while we're out and about, I will do that too. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me pin your message here. There we go. Well, I've got two out in here, Jacqueline and Meri. You have fabric. Oh, okay. I will try to pop in while we're out and about. We have a whole stack of newspapers that we did not recycle over the winter because we couldn't get up to the porch to load it up. So while my brother goes to get his paper, I'm going to drag all those bags of newspapers out, and we're going to load them up in his car, and we're going to go take them to the recycling center. And we'll clear out that corner. It's been building up all winter. Okie dokie. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. I will be sure and pop in. I'm so glad you have fabric. Yay! I've been saving my pennies. Well, trying to. I needed a lot of things, and I wanted some things. I needed some paper, some glossy paper to print on, and I needed more ink for my printer, so little essential things. Is anybody else going to pop in this morning? Well, Jacqueline, we got one more person. I don't know who it is. All right. Well, I'm going to get started. Penelope is here. Put her up on her throne. This is the page that I did yesterday, and I'm really liking this one. And I have some books that I got from Debbie Epps, her book of houses, and altered surface. This one is more for reading, the altered surfaces. And then I got the lighthouse one that I'm going to save for a lighthouse book I got. So I might pull some houses out of here. The thing that's preventing me from doing it is they're printed on both sides. I'm going to have to pick and choose. But what I'm going to start out with is this collectible book, and I'm gonna deconstruct it. This will make a very, very nice journal. And some of these pages in here are full pages. So, yeah. Let's see. Can I leave the fly page? I think I can if I'm careful. I might have to take this one out. Hi, Pam. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for popping in. Keep your fingers out of the way. There we go. Just needed to break that. Let's see if we can get this page off. It's pretty well glued on there, but there we go. Yay! Now we got to do the other side. Oh, chess pieces. Look at those yummy chess pieces. Yummy. Now, get in here and cut this. I'm trying to save the fly pages here. Oh, yay. Hi, Arlene, welcome in. How are you doing, lady? Pam says she's doing a little fussy cutting. Well, you know, I'm going to do a little of that. We can fussy cut together. So this will make a nice art journal. I'll probably have to break the spine anyway because you know how fat my art journals get. But we'll put this back. What I want are pages to put in this art journal. We're going to finish this one up. This is the one with Gem Fiddly Bits. And I was working on a page yesterday. I was working on this one. But I think I'm going to do some calligraphy in here. I don't want to paint over these wonderful pages that Jen has. So I'll probably be doing a lot of maybe writing. I'll look for some calligraphy pens. I don't know if I can get any today, but I'll look. And I have these painted leaves. And I don't know if the acrylic on there is going to save them from drying out. I'm going to set those aside. Should put them in a package. And what happened to those chests then? Well, you get the idea. I'm going to deconstruct this text block and pick out, I'm going to start at the back. There's chests, so we'll pull that page out. But I had just a separate one. Oh, these are going to be fun. The thing of it is, on these books, you gotta pick and choose. And I'm rotten at picking and choosing. But it's gotta be done, so. I bought this book, or I didn't buy it. I got it at Debbie Epps' sale. I mean, I bought it, but I didn't buy it brand new. We'll save that bit of cloth. No, we won't. Let's toss that. Chest set. I don't know what I have here. Ooh, looky! Oh, this is going to be wonderful. Oh, no, I'm going to have to pick and choose. I think this is chalkware. It's all the C's. Churches, I think. Or is it still chalkware? Chalkware. Now, I got this book from Debbie, I think, for $2 or $3. And that one, I saw collectible books at the thrift store, and they wanted $9 for them. And I was not going to pay $9. So thank you, Debbie Epps, for the good sale that you had. I think she's got a sale coming up, too. Did Becky pop in? Good morning, Becky. Let's see. Let's get up here. Jacqueline. Pam popped in. There's Becky. She says, good morning. Okay, I got to get working and lurking. Thank you for working and lurking. Well, for lurking while you're working. Oh, these are gone. See, now this is a full page. And this on the other side looks like a cash register. So I might be able to do some page, full page in that other book cover. These are cash registers. I'm going to have to pick and choose which one do you want. Here's another full page. Isn't that yummy? Oh, look at this one. Wow. I'm not sure that I used all Jennifer's pages. I might be able to do some one-page pieces. Look at that. This registers the amount of your purchase. And these are cartoons, I think. They're all, this is the C book, ABC. And thank you, Debbie Epps. Oh, look at this. The Boston Sunday Post. Gonna have to pick and choose. And these are coming out very nice. Tearing out of the book nice. Once you get that text block off of it. And I'm gonna do, look at this one. Isn't that cool? H.A. Herb Abrams. My brother's name is Herb. H.A. If there's writing in there, I can't read it. The Pictorial Gems of Wit and Wisdom. It probably tells about it. Look at this. Yumminess. Cars. Look at these. Yummy. And this is milestones. It must be related to cars. The classics. Austin Daniel, Bentley, Blackhawk, BMW, Brewster's, Lincoln's, Locomobile, 1929s. Huh, Locomobile. Look at this. Wow. Very cool pictures in here. Oh, yummy. Huh? Pick and choose. Yeah, there are a lot of full-page ones. Cars. Tripping on Nostalgia. And these are cool. These are carnival. The merry-go-round horses. I might be able to fussy cut some of these and put in there in my journal. These are cool. Look at these. Pig, a rooster. Oh no, cherubs and the chariot. These are cool. A lion's head and his tush. Dragon. What's on the other side? Giraffe. Oh no. I'd probably take this because it's got the cat, the ostrich, and the giraffe. And I might be able to get the head of the dragon. These are so fun. I needed images. This is carnival glass. I needed images for the book. I have a lot of doll heads. I have a lot of background papers. But I needed images. This is carnival glass. We have a picture that looks like this. I don't think it's true carnival glass. It's painted carnival glass, but it belonged to my mother. Isn't that beautiful? Looks like a big old gem. Canes. I'm not so crazy about the canes, but could put a man in there. Different canes. I guess if you're a gentleman, you could collect canes. This one's kind of cool. It's got a gentleman figurine on him. Candlesticks. Could put little heads on them. That's cool. Chandelier with a candlestick. Candle holders. Flickers of the past. Cameras. I'm just about to the beginning here. Look at these cameras. Oh, gotta pick and choose. That's the thing about these collectible books. It's so hard to pick. this will become a page. I'll have to do that one-page binding that I think Becky did. I'm going to turn this fan toward me. Becky did a showed how to do, Becky and who else was it? Showed how to do one-page binding, single-page binding. These are just what they call true binding. It's just glued to the, it's not sewn or anything, it's glued to the corner here. This is pretty strong. I might be able to keep that. Cameras and buttons. This is so sad because they're all kind of cool buttons. You're gonna have to pick and choose which buttons do you want. But you know what? Once you pick and choose, you've made your decision. You live with it. You live with it. Like on this one, I've got faces on other pages, so I would probably take these. And this could be a full page one, maybe. Let's see what's on the other side. Yeah. So, and here's the front matter. So, we're going to choose some images out of here to fussy cut and put in our book. All right, let's start with the back here, which is companion pieces, chest. So I'll probably use these. This is cool. These are cool, but these are better, cooler. I don't think, well, if I fussy cut them, I might be able to get one of these and these. I'd lose these, but I'd get those. This is, I like that, but this gives me two. So there's that one. You see, I've got these. I like the board. But you know, I don't need to fussy cut them all. So let's choose. That'll be a full page one. So those will be full page. And I'll come back and choose. Well, should I choose now? Which ones do I want? Oh. These for sure. And maybe these. So let's get out a scissors. And yeah, that's a good choice. Let's just cut here. And maybe this is all I'll save for now, because I'm going to have other images too. So these and these. Yep, I've made my choice. All right, I'm going to set those up here. And these others, I will keep for later. Oh, yummy! Oh, yummy. I think I'm going to take these. So we'll put that there. I need a, let's see, I'm going to put my full page ones up above. And this will probably be a full page, because those are too cool to cut. chalkware. And the kitty, oh, I can't cut that. Here's some kitties though. I might take these. I'm going to set them here for a minute. These are cool. This one's kind of dark, but I like these. Ah, it's a possibility. Oh, for sure. So I got 2 pages here of kitties. What did I do with my little pieces? Are these the ones I'm keeping? Or the ones I'm keeping? Must be these. I don't want to cut. Save those. Cash registers. Maybe I'll keep those. That's a full page one. And I can pick and choose as I go too if I don't like any. I mean, if I don't want to cut them. That's a full page. Caricatures. That's definitely a full page. Now I might take that and that. And then I'll pick as I go through here what I want and what I don't. I love this one. I love it. All right, I'm thinking about that. I'll put it there to choose. Cars. Cars I'm not as thrilled about if I don't get them all. That's okay. Full page one. I like the older ones. Full page one. Ooh, yummy. That definitely is a full page. Now I'm into the carnival horses. I could use both of these. There's a old roadster on the back. The carnival horses. I'll have to pick and choose as I get there. I got the tush. Oh dear. Definitely that one. Maybe that one. It's a full page one. Glassware, I'm not as... I might be able to use that lamp. The glassware I'm not as thrilled about. Might use that. Canes I'm not as wild about either. There's a full page one. I suppose if you get them all together, they're pretty cool. It's a full page. These are bronze and silver candlesticks, but they remind me you could wrap, on your candlesticks, you could wrap your slow stitching on them. Full page one. I like the chandelier ones. I might be able to do something with that. course, there's a neat one on the back. Full page. Cameras. Cameras. Full page. Full page. Full page. Look at that. You'd have to understand what you were doing on that one. Buttons. That's gonna be a hard choice. Buttons. All right. The rest is front matter. And I'm deciding here. Do I want to save that as a full page or do I want to cut? Ooh. I could do both. I could save these faces and maybe some of those. I'll make a decision. So these are the ones that I'm going to fussy cut. These are full page ones. Let's put the fussy cuts up there for a minute. So these are just too nice to get some nice papers in between them. These are too nice to cut up. So they're going to go back between the covers of that book. And if I get pages in between them, I might be able to put these back in that book. I love that one. But that's for another time. Kitty cats. Look at that cat. How could I cut that up? It wouldn't even, well, it might fit in my journal, but I'm going to put it as a question because I kind of like that. If it doesn't fit, I won't use it. These are full page. There's no way I can, I like these, but there's no way I can cut that up. Chess sets. Alright, so these are full page ones. See, if I put full pages in between. Alright, these are going to go back in the cover. No way can I cut them. And then these are ho-hum ones that I might be able to cut. Not ho-hum, because there's nothing ho-hum. This is front matter. These are, well, I could put that one with the full page. These are indecisive. Put this in the full page one. This is front matter. Text. Panes. I just, things I'm not really thrilled about, but this one I might be able to, ooh, I don't know. I'm going to put that with the full pages. And this carnival glass, I could cut that. I could cut. This could go with the full page. I'm not sure. More front matter. These are the cartoons. cash registers. Oh, I'll make a decision. Chalkware. Those are hands holding something. Flowers. Chess. Chess. I'll put this in here just to have a home for it. So these are the full page ones. These are, I don't know, I'm going to put them in here. And these I pulled to cut. So we're going to fussy cut. I'm only going to fussy cut that if it'll fit into my journal. Will that fit on a journal page? I don't think so. So we're going to put it in the full page. There we go. And we'll make a journal out of that later. So these are fussy cuts, which I'm going to do next. Find my little scissors. Put all of this over to the side. I'll come back to the buttons. I don't want to make a lot of decisions right now. Come back to the buttons. This one I could cut. Come back to it. This one. So right now, I'm just going to cut off the text, and we'll save the text because I might want it. And right now I'm just going to choose the images that I want. Probably these. And then I'll go back in and fussy cut them. Don't look on the other side. Let's see what's on there. Yeah. Yeah, I see a pick and choose here. Candlesticks. Do I want that? Be hard to fussy cut it. Or do I want these? Anatomy of a candlestick. I want that. So I'll probably save these two. I'll decide when I get there. See, I've got other candlesticks. And I like these because they're so dominant, and I could put heads on them. Oh, I could put heads on all of these too. This one looks like a monster to me. Alright, we'll just cut it in half. These scissors need a little oiling. You probably used them to cut tape. And candlesticks. That one's pretty cool. I'll probably save that one. and maybe these, and maybe that. Let's cut it in half. Is that going to be okay? Yeah. Am I all right? Yeah. Canes. Which ones do I want? Probably these. Right now I'm just separating carnival glass. I think I saved it for these. This picture reminds me of my mother so much. Only I don't think hers was real carnival glass. Hers was painted carnival glass. Now this one, I'm going to save this. And maybe that, and maybe that. We'll see. And the hard decisions here. Well, if I cut these two, I can get the head there. So those two and the head. Oh, look. Decisions. So same, I think I might be able just to get his head there. Right in there, because, yeah. His tail. I'll cut it pretty close. No, where's his head? His head's over here. So this is the one I need to cut close. I've got his head. We're saving his head. This can get tossed. Oh, yummy. Oh, yummy. These two, of course. I hate to destroy the one on the back, but not even gonna look at him. Oh, cherubs. Well, this one's kind of big, so I could save this. So let's cut. Here. So I could save that. Yep. Sorry, little angels, but I want the pig and the chicken. The pig and the chicken. Now these are small, but these might be too big for my book, so I'm going to put those with the full page, and that with the full page. I'm not even going to look at the back. I did. That can go with the text. Now we're into the cars. Text. And these can be cut apart. A lot of this is pick and choose, but if you have a system like, okay, I'm going to save all the full page ones and decide what I want. I like these red ones, even though these on the back are cool. This could be a full page, but I don't know whether those will fit widthwise. Will they fit widthwise? Just barely. I think they will. I think I can get them on. They might go over the margin a little. If I cut them out, fussy cut them, they'll fit. All right, now I'm into the caricatures. I like that. It's nice and bold. That one's a little more of a sepia drawing. So we'll save this one. And then we'll see what's left on the other side. That could just be cut off here. I'll put that in with the text. These do not mean as much to me. I think I'll save these. See, I could not cut up a book like this if it cost me $10. Like those at the thrift store cost me $10. Well, I wasn't going to pay them. It was really like $9.50 or something, but by the time you pay the taxes on it, it'd be $10. I wasn't going to pay it. I can pay $2.50, $3 for a book like this, but I can't pay $10 to cut up. Although when you look at all the images in here that I'm cutting up, they're probably worth $10. But you gotta pick and choose. Choose your battle. And these are just super cool. I like them all, but I gotta choose, and I like these the best. But will they fit? Well, I think they will if I'm then gonna look at the back. I can't look at the back. I've made my choice. Stick with it. Cash registers. And just both of these. Good text there. Journal spots. And there's just text on the back of these. This is a cool one. This one you might have to figure out a little. The first register. I might save that even though I like these. I've got those. This kind of documents the first cash register. So I'm going to save that. Yeah, pick and choose your battle. Now I've got 4 here, but I like these, so I'm going to save these. Cats. Oh, look at this cat. Definitely that. We'll cut it close and see what I get on the other side. Oh, there's just text on the other side. That's too cool. Now, what do we have here? I guess I'll save these. And that leaves me with the text. See, yummy. Do I want these 3 or do I want these 3? Actually, I'm thinking these. I'll set it aside. Now see, I got more here. Oh, definitely these. And then I have to fussy cut. But I might fussy cut as I go. We'll see. And candlesticks. Oh, definitely these. Or these. These. Yeah. Ooh. Maybe if I cut down a little. Yeah. Probably these. I like these. So these and these. Definitely that. Will that fit across my... A lot of it has to do, will it fit? Not even if I cut it down, but I like that figure. And the same way with that. These I could cut in half if I wanted, but I like these. So what I'll probably do here is cut here, and then I don't have to use all of these in this journal. I might be able to stretch that across 2 pages. So I like that. And I kind of like this, which would leave me that. So let's cut. Here. I like those. These are dark, but I got that one. Kitties! What am I going to do with you? I was making a decision. I might put that with a full page. More chests. Definitely these and these, I guess. They're cool on both sides. Now, I think I said I could save these and get these. Let's cut, see where I'm cutting. There. Oh, I just made that. Chalkware. What do I want? Do I want the goats and the dogs? Or do I want these? I think I want these. I'm just gonna cut. You gotta make the decision and go for it. And say, I decided. And that's that. Well, definitely the cats. Although this one's kind of dark. But, yeah. This preening bronze cat. Kind of hard for me to see it there. We'll see what's on the other side. That's a cat. Is that a cat? I'll decide later. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Definitely these. Excuse me. I can't make much sense. Oh, this is a man talking to a, well, that's a woman possum or something. I'll save these two. Excuse me a minute, my nose is tickling me. Sanitize my hands. All right. This we just got the tush. We got the, I'm gonna say that. Decide later. Here's a red car. We'll save the red car. Text. Carnival glass. Well, I'm gonna put that with the full. This one. I think this one is like what my mother has. Picture is easily detected as new by the brightness of the iridescence and by its modern spout for trapping ice. Yeah, I knew my mother's was not. It's carnival glass, but it's a more modern version. Let's cut these. close because I don't know what the story is on the other side. This is my last one. All right. Now, I'm going to choose some images. These I couldn't decide. I'm going to put them in the book. Well, these will definitely go with full page. But these I couldn't decide. So let's get my book out. And I think I put the, whoops, that's the lighthouses. Put these toward the back. And these toward the front. Because they're cool. And I'll save this for another day. I love this image. I really do like it. Alright, then I have all the text that I'm not ready to throw away yet. And for temporary, I'm going to put it over here. What's this? These are the buttons. I couldn't decide about the buttons. Well, I could save those. Yeah. These are going to undecided here. I'll deal with them later. And go in the back. I still got plenty for another journal. Now, what did I do with my scissors? What did I do with the ones I was using? Did I fold it up in that book? No. These are the ones that are kind of need cleaning. I think I got tape on it. Well, phooey. Oh, there they are. Okay. So, I'm liking these. If I cut right, I'll get the, but I'm liking these. So what do I want to sacrifice? I think I want these, and I'm going to cut them really close. I don't think it's going to make a difference because I'll cut into, yeah. But you could overlap these on something. Look at that bee or wasp. Dragonfly. Very cool dragonfly. Button. And then these. Just cut the margins off here. You gotta make a decision, Meri says. And after I get these sorted out, I'll come out and look at chat. Yeah, let's see, what do I want from here? I can save all of those. Button back marks. It's informational. Put it with the text. Now let me come out and look at chat. These are, I'm going to pick some things to fussy cut in here. I'm not going to fussy cut the whole thing here. Hold it a minute. I think I'll get my phone out to read the chat. Which one is it? Let me give me oh. Folder name, YouTube. You live.
Looks like you can just
skip the ad. There we go. And let's get my chat set to all messages. Hi, Angie. Bless you again. Bless you. Thank you guys for the blessings. Hi, Dar. Welcome in. Hi, Juju. I don't know why Juju's name is, maybe because she has, for me, it's all in outline. Oops. It's all in outline font. And I kind of have a time reading it, but she's got that @ sign. But Angie has an @ sign. I don't know. Dar says, hi, Angie. Hey, Angie. Hey, Kat. Arlene says, I don't know, but everyone does. YouTube did more stupid stuff. Uh-oh, what's going on? Arlene, why do we have the @ sign? Let's press on it. Arlene, I don't know, but everyone does. YouTube does more stupid stuff. I can replace the pinned message. I can report or remove. Channel activity, go to channel, remove as no, I'm not going to remove you. I don't know why they put the @ sign there. More stupid stuff. Look at all those @ signs. And look, they even did it on the pinned message. Let's see if we can find out. Let's see if we can find any. Not only does YouTube doing stuff, stupid stuff, this new Gemini stuff. Here's what I want. I want a new tab. Give me a new tab here. Plus sign? No, that's my folder name. Where's the new tab? Where's the new tab? Well, phooey. There. These are the results of why did YouTube put the @ sign on the chat ID. YouTube uses the @ symbols in chat IDs and handles to ensure uniqueness and clarity. So you're unique and clear, especially in live chat and mentions. When a channel name is taken, YouTube adds numbers to the handle to make it unique. Additionally, the @ symbol, where is it? The @ symbol is used to differentiate usernames and mentions from regular text in the live chat. So I think it's the differentiation in there. So here's a more detailed explanation. There's a handle. The live chat mentions using the @ symbol before username. Well, we knew that. The @ symbol helps in quickly identifying and linking to a specific channel. By using the @ before the handle, YouTube minimizes confusion. Well, I think they've just confused it more. What do you guys think? I don't care for it either. You think that YouTube done yet another update? Juju says. Oh, let's go down to the bottom. Angie, did YouTube change your name or did you? Angie Brown 7044. I think they said they put numbers on there to uniquely identify them, but you didn't get a number, Arlene. Maybe because you're a mod. No, it changed. It's not changed. It's still the same. Well, you got that 7044 number on there. Did you have that before? 7044? Dar has a number, 1956. That's always been there. I wish they wouldn't use that outline font. It's hard to read. Get rid of the outline font, YouTube. It's hard to read, especially on mobile. Becky says, there's a link in that description box to the page showing how to do the slip knot binding. Oh, let's look at that. Becky dropped a link here to YouTube.com. Right here, preparing our journal covers. There's a, let's go back to what she said, if I can find it here. There's a link in there. I lost my own chat. Preparing, I think she said in here, there's an explanation how to do that single page binding. I think that's what she's saying. Let me save this. Download it, share. Copy link. And I'll put it in my notes. There's my Harrison Fisher notes. Let's go to all notes. Compose. Thank you, Becky. I'll go look at that after the stream. Come on. Sometimes it's very stubborn. Very stubborn. There. Gotta hit 10 million buttons. There, I put it in my notes. Single page binding. Thank you, Miss Becky. Let's go back to my stream. If I can find me here. Oh, Mary. YouTube. Me. Whoops. Me. Got an ad. Excuse me while I punch some buttons. And I wish that they would let us choose whether we wanted goals or not. Goals means nothing to me. And look, I have almost a fourth of my page here is, you know, it bothers me on mobile because I only got this much chat, only about a third, maybe a little over a third, about, oh, well, that's about a, this is about a third, and that's about a third, and we'll call that a third in between. And you know, down here you got more, learn more down in here. It just, it bothers me that they put that goal thing there. They don't give you the option to take it off. And on mobile, it's just taking up space that bothers me. Let's go to all messages. And, you know, and I can't adjust this. Well, I guess I can a little. I can pull my live chat up. Let's go back and how did I do that? Pull my live chat up. Well, I had it. Oh, maybe when I go down. Now, how did I do that? I pulled that live chat button all the way up. There. So now I can read more of the chat. But still, I don't like that goals there. Let me choose whether I want a goal or not. Geez, YouTube, you force stuff on us. Angie says, Arlene, they gave people a number if you don't do videos or lives. Huh. They put those numbers by my name on my channel a long time ago. Something to do with your channel or something. I don't understand anything YouTube does. Let's see, I was reading Becky's message about that link. Juju. Here. But the Afcrafton on the back 40 is my channel handle. On my YouTube name is Mama Juju at the back handle. You think YouTube did another update? Yeah, they're always messing stuff up, aren't they? I mean, they really have messed up chat. That is, to me, this whole thing is convoluted. I get Becky, and I get the crown, number 3, and I get all those at signs with the names, but it's hard to read the chat. To me, this whole thing is convoluted. They need to clean it up. If they're going to put a crown, they could put a smaller crown, get rid of the number. If people want to see if they're 1, 2, or 3, they could go to the leaderboard and look. They need to make that purple icon a lot smaller. Make it as small as the little circle and the wrench. That would clean it up a little and they'd still have it. Because, you know, most people, well, I guess you do look at the number, but it's just convoluted. Here's where Becky said, there's a link in that description box to the page showing how to do the slip knot binding. Thank you, Becky. And there's the link there. I think she's talking about the link up above her name. It's called slip knot binding. Thank you, Becky. I learned it from Tanya McGuire. I remember when she did that, and I remember when you did it. I remember that. Tanya and Lisa at that time were doing a lot of different types of journals and journal binding. Dar and Pam, Arlene says, I'm sitting here telling the screen to keep that one. No, not that one. You know, you're helping Mary. You're helping me choose what fussy cuts to pick, and I didn't hear a word you said, Arlene. Make a copy. Yeah, you could do that. I'd have to, my printer's out in the other room. On those big ones, I could make copies of those big ones and reduce it down. And I might still do that. That's a good idea, Becky. And they're saying hello, hello, hello. Arlene says, the strangest thing happened. YouTube won't let me have chat. I was here when Mary first loaded, but YouTube gave me a big purple monkey with a wrench instead of chat. I could see and hear Mary just, chat. Had to restart YouTube. I think they're messing with stuff. Obviously they are, because they put in all those @ signs, and I think that they've convoluted chat myself. And I can't go up. I see where Jacqueline says she's lurking and working. All right, let's go down to the bottom. Hi, Tina. Welcome in. Tina, I have no idea what's going on with my name here in chat. They messed you up, Tina. I think they've convoluted the whole screen. They're trying to make it easy and everything, but they that's, to me, that's convoluted. And then, you know, we put in our own icons, like those hearts and, you know, the little wave sign. At least on my screen, I don't know about you guys, but at least the names are in a bold white. I kind of like that. And that's enough for me. I don't need the @ sign. The @ sign doesn't do anything except for identify you, because when I press on that, I still get the same options to do whatever I want with Arlene's chat. But YouTube has PMS. I'll say, Dar. Tina and I dropped our last names to thwart stalkers, but YouTube just undid it. Wow. Can you redo your name? Can you, I wonder, can you change your ID? I suppose your ID goes along with your, like I am. Let's just put in a hi here. I'm at Meri Art, and if I go to my channel, let's go back up to my channel here, your channel, and I think it gives you an option here, someplace in here, to change your, or it might be on the, it might be here, see? You can edit at Meri Art. Now, I don't know if you guys can do that on yours. I'm chatting, I'm on a live stream, but you might try to go to your channel page, go to your home page, and I think I hit the, no, what did I hit? I hit the at Meri Art, at Meri Art. You might try to hit your edit. Oh, that copied it. I don't know if you can edit. I thought that was an edit. That's a copy. I don't know. I thought you could change that someplace on here. Share settings, general, switch account, general. I don't think you can set it in here. That's just page settings for your app. See your subscribers, manage videos, edit here. Here, there's an edit button on mine. Here's my, on my home page, and it says manage videos, and then there's a little, what that does, analytics. That takes me to my analytics, and then there's a little pencil right at the very end there. When I hit that pencil, I can edit my handle right there, and you could change, you might go to there and see if you can change your handle, and that might be able, and they might change it back, but optionally add your pronouns. Description, community. I don't have my community turned on yet, but we do have the community tab now. I want to investigate that a little bit more. I think Dee Dee turned on her community. Everybody should have the option for the community tab now. I don't have mine turned on. Let's go back to chat. I want to figure out how I got that there. At least I can, this part here, I can sometimes move up. Then, whoops. I gotta go into chat. Move that up somehow. Sometimes it works for me and there. I moved that little menu that I'm complaining about up to the top of my screen so I can see more chat. Juju says, not channel name. Yeah, it's the, you don't want to change the channel name, you want to change your handle. And you said they put a number by your name. If you don't have a picture by your name, like I have a, so they gave me a number. YouTube doxed me. That old YouTube, boy, I'll tell you, they're up to, they think they're improving it, but I really truthfully do think that they've convoluted, because there's so much on here, and you're really just interested in talking to people. You don't need all this crap. Like, this crown really bothers me. You can get rid of the crowns, but I don't want to do that. I think they should make it smaller if they're going to have it. They should make it the size of the wrench and the little circle there. They don't need the number 1, and they could make that crown a lot smaller. That's what I would advise them to do, but they aren't going to ask Meri Abrams what to do. You know, she doesn't know a darn thing. Let's see. I never saw those numbers before on Angie's name. Blah, 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 blah. Now you're not blah, blahing, I'm blah, blahing. You guys can go blah, blah away. I have to talk, but the F Crafton on the back 40 is my channel handle on my YouTube. Yeah, so I think you can change that handle. If you go to your, but know that that's going to change it across the system. Because Meri Art, let's go back to my home page here. See, here's the Meri Atelier is my channel name, and at Meri Art, at my Meri Art is my handle. And if you click on your channel and go to that, on mine it has a little pencil over here. It says manage videos, and then that little square box is my analytics. If I go to my pencil, then it gives me the opportunity to change my channel name, to change my handle, to put in pronouns if I'm all upset about my pronoun. I'm a woman. I'm a lady. I'm a woman. Channel URL, the description, my community. I don't have that turned on, in privacy. And I'm showing all my, I don't have, privacy says keep all your subscriptions private. I have that turned off. I show all my subs. Changes made to your name and profile picture are visible only on YouTube and not other Google services. Well, that's good. All right, let's go back in. Go back to live chat. Let's go back to all messages. And let's see if I can, sometimes I can move that up and sometimes I can't. I guess I have to go down and up. All right, Arlene says, so I went into my channel customization handle and published. There you go. Arlene did it. Arlene got rid of it. Thank you, Arlene. Arlene at Z. Yeah. Very good, Arlene. She figured it out. It did work. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I'm going to get out of my, because I don't want to put any of you guys in timeout. I'll put it back over here on my desk. Let's pick some things to fussy cut. Not the buttons. I'll come back to those because I have to think about those. Carnival glass. Car. I kind of like the car. I kind of like that one. I love this one. I think I'll work with that one. Let's see what I saved. These are on my text. Let me get this out of the way. Keep my book out. Put these up above. All right, I'm choosing some things to fussy cut. That cat, I love it. Chess. Might use those. This would be too much. Here's a squirrel chalkware. A cat. A dog. A chicken. Chess. Is he sitting on a stool? I think he is. Is he sitting on a chair? I think he's sitting on a chair, not the stool. Here, this one. This one is cool. Cash registers. Say one of those. Say this one. This is cool. I like these. And I'll take the rest of these out in the other room and fussy cut when I have time. Looks like a skeleton face. Looks like she's pickpocketing there. The cartoons. This one's cool. Another red car. I think I got a red car. We'll come back to the cars. Horse. That makes a nice background image. Chicken. The pig. We'll come back to these. See if that fits. That one might fit. A dragon head. This one's almost cut out. The ostrich, the cat. A lamp. Glass, the canes. Candlesticks. This one, I like those. I'll decide about that later. Oh, little. I think that's the new one. It doesn't have a pin in it. I'm going to put that in the drawer. This is a little point thing. I think that's the new one. They give you an extra point. I think that's the extra. I don't think that's the... I'm going to put it in here. Cameras. I don't know which one I want. I'll decide when I get there. Probably that one. Alright, so these I'm going to take out in the other room and fussy cut when I'm sitting and listening and watching. Alright. So these, let's see. Let's decide here. I'll take this one for sure, and this one, and that one. I've got several carnivals. The cat's almost cut. Pig, the chicken, that one, this one, that one. Some of these are pretty easy to fussy cut. Cash register. Chess. Chicken. A squirrel. A cat. And that one. Alright. I don't know which one I was saving here. This one. This one. The pickpocket. Alright. I'm going to put these back to the fussy cut later too. And so I've saved these out. And these will go pretty fast as fussy cuts. And I think I'll save that black line. It'll show when I put it in the book. Well, maybe, depending on what page I put it on. So this morning is all about fussy cutting. And it's 7:30. This is Friday morning. So I can go until a little before 10, but I'm usually tired by 9. It's 7:30, so I'll probably leave at 9 this morning. All right, there's a finished fussy cut. Let's do the cash register. Get rid of all the white space. Now Dee Dee would color match. She would color match the white space. But I don't want to get stuff out to do that. So I'm going to fussy cut mine. Won't take too long. Now this is part of the cash register here. I don't think that's a blank space. I think that's something on top of the drawer there. I don't know. Could be broken in there, but I don't think so. And of course, when you get into the detail stuff, you want to go a little slower. Move your paper. Put my fussy cuts up above, my scraps here. So I've been tatting, and for those of you that are in the Fibdiggity Creators group, and Arlene, I'm still working on what I'm doing for you. For you, those of you that are in the Fibdiggity Creators group, I think it's Monday night that we're meeting. And I'm going to be working on doing some scanning. I'm working on some thank you projects. I think you guys will really like them. I like them. And usually when I like something and hesitate to give it away, then I know other people will like it. Maybe not everybody, but... So if you want a freebie thank you for coming to the chat, you got to come to the chat. This is different than the stickers that I send out to people who want the stickers. This is more of a thank you. Thank you for coming to my membership chat. Now that's only for the creators. That's not the friends. There's Fibdiggity Friends, which is the first room in the membership area that I call my Fibdiggity Community Center. I think I'm going to change the name of that. I'm going to call it Fibdiggity Gathering or something like that. Gathering Room. Because just about the time I named my membership the Fibdiggity Community Center, they announced the community tabs. Ha! So I don't want to confuse my Fibdiggity Community Center with the community tab. So I'm going to start calling it the Fibdiggity Gathering Place. Gathering. Now this one, I'm going to cut it out as a rectangle now, but I might fussy cut him out when I use him. Because it's easy to cut right now. It's too bad I have to use all of those. Gotta pick and choose. Pick and choose. Or copy. I could still copy those. For your own art journal, you can do that. I tend just to use the original stuff. Well, first of all, I didn't have a printer for the longest time. And I think I'm going to save this. I got mixed up in that. See, I could copy this stuff. We'll see. Depends on how much I like it, whether I want to spend my time doing that. If I fussy cut him out, I'll need to copy this before I fussy cut. I could copy it and have it on hand. And you can only do that for your own art journaling. You don't want to copy a book this is not in public domain. Although I would think some of these images might be. If you could find them on the internet, you might be able to find them in, like at the publicdomain.net or .org or whatever it is. You might be able to find the public domain images of some of these. I know with the book that I'm using, for my Fib Diggity Creators group is in the public domain. And this illustrator did more than what's in that book. And I see a lot of people going out, and now I know he did a lot of posters and magazine covers and stuff like that. They might have his original or an original magazine cover. But a lot of them, I think, go out and make posters out of what they find in the public domain and then try to sell it. And people think that they're getting an original. And there are some originals out there, but you got to be careful with that stuff. Here's the red car. And I'll definitely probably cut that out when I get ready to use it. Reminds me of Anne Noir. Her red beetle, I think. And I was going to do a snow globe for her red beetle, and I never got it done. I was getting tired of doing snow globes. You know, July is coming up. I could do some more snow globes in July. Might think about that. But I probably won't do the big envelopes. Might think about it. I think I did the Christmas spider for Becky, because she told us the story of the Christmas spider. I never knew there was a Christmas story about the Christmas spider. And don't ask me to repeat it, because I'd get it wrong. I just know that it's a story. A Christmas story. And after I cut these up and everything, I have no idea what they're all about. Like, I like the image. It's a collectible cartoon, I think. Looked like a man smoking a pipe and a man holding his head and a man... Oh, they're in the stock. Oh, that's a woman smoking a pipe. She's in the stocks there, the stockade. And it looks like he's holding his head or scratching his head. And it looks like there might be a dog looking at her. And here's the guy supervising. And I love this cat. Yeah, I fussy cut it out. Let's get rid of all the negative space. And sometimes if you cut just a little bit on the inside, it eliminates that white. But you don't want to cut too far into it, but just a little. After all, it's just a picture. Now, here's where you probably want to use the points of your scissors. And you do the detail, you want to use the very points of your scissors, like in there. And if you're just cutting a big smooth area, you can use this part. It seems to work for me. See, I'm just cutting right, there's the end of my cut right there. And then when you cut to here and you have to get in there, snip off that white space there so you can get in there better. You cut around in here. And there you go. Whoops, I got a little white in there. Now Dee Dee would probably color match in here some, depending on her background. Yeah, I don't want that white. Now I'm just using the very tippy tip of my scissors. There. And sometimes when you have just a little piece like this that you're cutting, if you hold on to it, hold it steady, especially if you have shaky hands. Let's get rid of some of this white. Yeah, I didn't get rid of it all. Come back around it. Got some white in there. Come on. There. No, didn't get him, did I? I think I got it. It just, I got to get it up closer to my nose. Hold my shaky hand still. There. Now, the feet are kind of hard to cut. And this probably, like I said, Dee Dee would get in with color matching. Well, probably with her background. because you wouldn't want to color match black on black. But if she's doing let's say she's doing a colored background, she'd probably paint that white the same color as the background. And that works, except for I'm not going to get out paints or I might. But I'm not intending to. So I looked at my calendar. I have a dentist appointment on July the 2nd in Lincoln. And I thought that was a Tuesday. It's actually a Wednesday. I'll have to check again, but I believe it's a Wednesday. So I will be streaming on Tuesday morning. But it's at 10 o'clock in the morning, which means I have to, and I don't like to fill out they sent me a form to fill out the patient registration, and I don't like doing that online because they ask for your social security number and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to put all that information online. I said I'd fill it out in the office, and they better keep their files safe. There's too many people breaking into medical sites and everything and grabbing all your ID information. See if I can fussy cut this cat's tail. Let's get rid of the white space. I'm loving him. I'm loving him. He's got his tail to fussy cut. Got to do it in the segments. Whoops, I didn't get this very good. Shaky hands. Oh, did I cut it off? I might have snipped his tail off. Did I snip it off? Oh, it's good enough. I think it curved around a little bit more. And he's okay. He said, ow! Watch what you're doing, lady. He's still got a tail. All right. Put him up there. Let's get rid of these scrappies. There comes a certain point where you've got to clear off your desk. And what time is it? It's 7:51. I still got time. Let's do the squirrel. I've got to put some oil or something in these scissors. They don't close very good. Maybe just clean them off in there. I think I cut that packing tape with them, and it made them sticky. They don't fussy cut very good. Now, on this area here, like it's big smooth line, I can use this part of my scissors rather than the point. So I can just go like this. It's an easy fussy cut. And let's get rid of the negative space. We don't need all of that. And we'll just cut this off here. See how I left a little line in there? I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little. I cut just a little on the inside rather than leaving the white. Sometimes I'm not so good at it. There we go. Now I got the chicken in the bowl. Look at that cat. I love this cat. Let's get rid of all the negative space here. Now I'm using Tim Holtz scissors to fussy cut with, but you can use those smaller embroidery scissors to get like the nose there. I don't know if you can see, there's a nose. You can use those real sharp pointed embroidery scissors, those work too. And this, I'm just going to cut the square out, and if I use it, I'll cut him out if I want. But it's easier just to cut off the square right now. And all of this book came out of a journal. I got it from Debbie Epps' sale. The collectible book I got from Debbie Epps. Thank you, Debbie. I am really enjoying these. And by the time you get everything fussy cut and all your images, you probably couldn't buy them for $10. But I'm not going to pay $10 for a... Now, here, this horse, I don't know if you can see it or not. Here's his head and here's his neck. He's got the reins coming down here. And there's a little white spot in there. Now, I probably will not try to cut that out. If I do color matching, it would be someplace like that. And sometimes the lady's arms. Now, this is tiny, so I'll probably paint that the color of the background, whatever I use it on. But sometimes the lady's arms are bigger, and I would cut to say that there's this is a lady's arm and this is her torso, and this white space is bigger. I would cut up in there and around rather than try to color match it, but that's too tiny to grab in there. So I will just kind of snip there, snip around his head, around his nose, cut that off. Not me, that tissue. And we got his ear there. Let's cut off all this negative space. It gets in the way of your scissors. Get rid of it. And you have to be careful when you're gluing these things down, especially if you're using a glue stick and you're going like that. After you get these legs cut, it's very easy to tear them. Probably be easier to use a liquid glue and a paintbrush, but you still have to be careful, and especially if your pages are old, like an old newspaper or something. You can get those glue sticks on old book pages. You can rip them pretty easy. You just need to go slow. I see I got a little white space in there. So we are going to town today. My brother wanted to go yesterday, and he wanted to go out and eat, but I'd already eaten. So I said, can we go tomorrow? He very seldom goes to town just to go eat, but he wanted to go. I convinced him to go today. But while he's getting the mail and the newspaper, I am going to haul all those old newspapers that we have stacked up out to the front porch and have him park his car over that way, and we got to get them recycled. That's pretty good. It's tiny. Alright, let's do the hoofs here. A little bit easier cutting. Let's go back over here. He's got an ear here. And this looks like part of his mane. So I don't want to cut that off. It's white. Or whiter. And the saddle. Now, let me get around the tail here. And his leg is really thin. Now, you know how I was talking about the ladies say that this is the torso of a lady and this is her arm, and that's a lot of white space in there. I can come right under the tail and fussy cut that out rather than paint it. But if it was just a teeny spot like that other, I would probably paint the background. Don't snip my tail up, lady. Okay. Don't cut my leg off. I need my legs to gallop. And there he is. And let's get some more stuff off my desk. And I'm saving that cat for later. Let's do some easy stuff. This will make a nice background. I want to look for some calligraphy, and then probably about the only place I could find them would be Walmart. And I doubt if they have them, but I'll look. There's a chicken. Carnival. Carousel animal. A little white space in there. I was thinking the Nebraska State Fair sometimes sends out announcements to what's going on in the mail, little brochures. I was thinking there might be a carousel image. Sometimes there are, images of the Ferris wheel and the carousels, and I was thinking that would be nice for these, but I don't know. I'd have to get lucky. Now this little wooden post here, I'm cutting it off. It goes to this, but I'm not going to save the top part of it. Pick your battles. There's the chicken. And here's the pig. Let's cut off all the negative space. His little curly tail. Now see, that tail has a little white spot in it. I would probably paint that. I would not try to fussy cut that little white spot. That's a Dee Dee Willingham technique, is to paint. Color match. And I'd probably paint it the color of the background, which might be white. Probably be that tan or blue, depending on where I use these. So I might leave it white, depending on where they go. Leave this little tail. And you gotta be careful when you're cutting and gluing little pieces like that. Yeah, got it. Let's see it. And I might color match that little piece right there. Is a little white in there where I didn't get it cut, but it's so thin. He's a cute little pig. Piggly Wiggly. Grocery store chain. They had one up in Middleton, which is a suburb of Madison. They had a Piggly Wiggly. It's a nice store. I would go in there on occasion. I didn't really shop there as on a continual basis. My mother used to shop at Piggly Wiggly when we lived in Texas. I was in first grade down in Texas. We lived in a town called Muleshoe. My dad's sister lived there. And my dad did bookkeeping for my aunt's husband, would be my uncle by marriage. My dad did bookkeeping in his shop. He had a blacksmith shop. About cut that stem off. And we were only down there for a couple years. But my uncle ran a blacksmith shop. And you know how those big old school swings, the big ones, the big old steel ones? Well, they made a swing set for us. Not just a little store-bought thing. It was a big school playground swing set. And of course, Texas soil was very sandy. We lived right across from the high school. And down the block was the swimming pool. See if I can't get this cut a little better right in there. And one summer, my younger brother disappeared. And my parents looked all over for him. And they were so afraid that he jumped in the deep end of the swimming pool. They looked all around, didn't find him. Looked and looked and looked, called his name. My mother was so worried. Well, my oldest sister still lived at home then. She was, excuse me, she was in, I think she was in like 8th grade or so when we lived down there. Well, she was 7 years older than me, and I was in 1st grade, so that would make her about in 8th. Or she wasn't in high school yet. I think she was still in junior high. And she knew where he was all along. She didn't say anything because he was hiding. I think he was afraid he was going to get a spanking. He was hiding under the bed. Mom should have looked there first, but maybe she did, and he was way back. I don't know. But he wasn't in the swimming pool. He was under the bed. And I don't know if he got a spanking. I think that Mom was just so relieved to find him. But I remember that. My oldest sister wouldn't tell on him. She just let Mom worry. Oh dear. Those are memories. And in that same house, excuse me a minute, I have to take care of my nose here. In that same house, I think I've told this story before, I locked myself in the bathroom. And I didn't understand that lock enough to know how to unlock it. And my mom and dad were trying to tell me how to unlock that door, and of course, you know, huh? How does that work? I'm still kind of like that, huh? What do I turn? What button? Well, it wasn't a button. It was a turn lock. And they were saying, just turn it. Well, I obviously turned it the wrong way. I never do things right. And so my dad got out some tools and was going to take the hinges off the door, and I figured it out. And my mom did not have a washing machine. You have to think this was in the 50s. And my mom, they rented that house. And my mom, there were 4 of us living at home, 4 kids. My oldest brother, where I'm staying with now, and my youngest brother and my oldest sister and me. And we all lived in that house. And my mom did not have a washing machine. She later, not in that house, but later when we moved, she got a wringer machine. She probably had a wringer machine when we lived in Nebraska before we moved down there, but she did not have a washing machine. And so we went to the laundromat. And I remember one day I didn't want to go to school. So I had to go to the laundromat with Mom. And it was cement floors. And I remember it as being like almost like an open garage type setting. So I remember, and I wanted some baked beans, that candy, that peanuts, they're peanuts with a red shell. They still sell them today in some stores, baked beans, candy, sugar-coated peanuts. And my mom said, if you're sick, you don't need baked beans. I don't think I got them. She made me, she said, you didn't want to go to school, you're sick, you don't deserve any candy. I remember that. I was in first grade down there. Mrs. Sanders was my teacher. I can still see her face. And she was probably a young lady, probably in her 20s. And of course, I was in first grade. She was an old lady to me. She was a nice person. And I know I've told this, I had to walk to school probably about 3 blocks. And there was this one house up on a kind of a hill, and they had dogs. Well, the dogs were fenced in, but they still barked. And I was always afraid of those dogs, so I would walk around I'd go an extra block around the block. And one day my mom was looking for me. I don't know if she was going to pick me up from school or what, but she couldn't find me. And finally she figured that I went around the block to avoid those dogs. And they were just barking like dogs do. They were pinned up. That she went and talked to the people, and she told me I didn't have to go around the block, but I think I still did. Those dogs scared me. And then we moved back to Nebraska, and I went to second grade in Nebraska. And I'm gonna cut that space out. So I'm gonna go up around the leg, between the leg and the tail. Went to school in Nebraska in the second grade. And there's a video out, a channel, I don't know the name of it, but they converted a schoolhouse in a small town in Indiana. And that reminds me so much of the school that I went to grade school in Nebraska. If I can get that or not. And I always thought it would be so fun to have an art studio in one of those old schools. And one lady in Nebraska did. And I read about it in the newspaper or online or something a couple years ago, and I thought, oh, how cool. But I saw just recently, well, in the last few months, where that school is for sale, and it's not close. Or I thought, man, that would be neat to have that art studio. I think she did pottery, and got a little white showing in here. But it was probably too much for her to maintain. You know, I just have got some white spaces here to clear out. This is a giraffe carousel animal. He doesn't have a, they must have taken the stick off. He didn't have a stick. He couldn't go up and down. He must have just went around. Probably too tall to go up and down on a carousel. He probably just stood there. Put the younger kids on it. I don't remember riding on a carousel with all the beautiful animals. We may have ridden on one with the horses, but not with all the beautiful animals. We've got a cat. I guess that'll, and an ostrich to cut out here. Let's do a simple one. I'll put that with the text. A lamp. I love these candlesticks. I'm going to put heads on them. But for right now, I'm just going to cut out the borders. I needed images. I didn't have any images. I've got a lot of background papers, but I need images. Let's go for this camera. Get rid of all that negative space. It's a lot easier to cut stuff out. I seem to be walking down memory lane this morning, thinking of growing up. Before we moved down to Texas, we lived in a small town here in Nebraska. My dad moved to that small town when he was still teaching school. He was a principal there. He taught history and English in these smaller schools. And he bought a house, and we lived in that house before we moved to Texas. Now, I don't know if that's negative space in there or if that's part of the camera. I think that's negative space. I'm going to cut right here. But I still remember growing up in that. It was a small house, and my mother's great aunt, my great great aunt, was living with my mom and dad. She raised Mom. Mom did not grow up with her brothers and sisters. That was a large family. There were like 12 or 14 kids. Brothers, I think there were 12 kids in that family. And her great uncle passed away. And so her great aunt came to live with us. And I was in kindergarten. But I remember, and I've told this story before too, one day my mom said, "Go wake up Aunt Molly. It's time to eat." And so I did, except she wouldn't wake up. I came back in, I said, Mommy, she doesn't wake up. Mom went in to check on her, and she passed away. First unalive person I had experience with. I didn't understand what it was all about at that time. Mom said, "Don't go in there." I thought that Mom just wanted her to sleep a little bit more. And that was the last I saw of Aunt Molly. She was always nice to me. My older sister didn't like her. My oldest sister didn't like her because sometimes she slept in the room that my older sister had her own room. And sometimes Aunt Molly would sleep in that room, and my older sister didn't like that at all. It was just a 2-bedroom house. There was the little bedroom that my sister had, and then the master bedroom. And of course, my mom and dad, and I guess Aunt Molly slept with Linda, which is my oldest sister. And Mom and Dad slept in the master room. I think my oldest brother slept in there too. And then my youngest brother slept in one side of the living room, and I slept on the other side. And I broke my leg when we came back from Nebraska. I broke my leg. I was in 2nd grade then. I'm not going to bother with that. I was in 2nd grade, and we had a friend that lived about 1/4 of a mile from us. My brother and I would go play with her. And they had an old barn with a sort of a cement fence, a cement floor, and it had a fence around it where they kept hay bales. And we would jump up on those hay bales and jump up on the fence and jump over on the hay bales. Kids playing. Well, I was going to prove that I could balance myself on top of that fence. Ha! I didn't. And I fell, of course, and I don't remember any pain. I don't think it hurt, but I couldn't walk. I remember telling them that I couldn't walk. I said, I can't stand up. Well, you know, I broke my leg. And so our little friend, she went and got her bicycle. She was going to take me home on her bicycle. And her mother saw it and said, what's the matter? Why are you taking her home? And they explained that I couldn't walk. And so she took me home on the bicycle. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to try to cut that lamp part out. It's too thin. She took me home on the bicycle, and my mom and dad determined that, yep, I broke my leg. My dad, of course, you know, I wasn't in any pain. I don't remember crying or anything. I was scared. And I'll never be able to walk again. And so they took me to the hospital. And I remember my dad, I can still remember looking up at, my dad carried me into the hospital. I was just a little girl. I was in 2nd grade. And I wasn't chubby then. I played outside a lot. I was not chubby when I didn't get chubby until I was in junior high. And my dad carried me into the hospital, and I remember him carrying me in his arms. My daddy's carrying me. And I was in the hospital a couple days. My mom stayed in the room with me because I was too afraid to stay by myself. And then I couldn't go back to school right away, so they brought all my school papers home, and all the kids made cards for me and sent me little presents, coloring books and stuff like that. And I just having all sorts of fun at home. I didn't have to go to school. Oh, those were the days. I'd be on my bed in my corner, playing with my books and my toys, my coloring books. And that was right around Christmas time. And they had a Christmas program every year. And I was still in my cast. And they had me come out for the last song. And they dressed me up as an angel. And I have a picture of that. Not of the school play, but me in a cast. And I was the angel with the broken leg, and all the mommies and daddies oohed and awed when I came out. Aw, she's an angel with a broken leg. Not a broken wing, a broken leg. And I made a little ATC when I lived up in Wisconsin of that. And it's probably still out on Facebook someplace. And my mom, one of the neighbor ladies, made my wings for me. And my mom took me there to get my wings fitted. And they snapped a picture of me. Smile! And I have that picture too, and I have the goofiest face on that picture. I look at it now and I go, oh, you have a goofy smile. I was really goofy. I think I was trying to act silly. But I wasn't in the play. We had a teacher who always called our Christmas plays operettas. But I got to come out at the last song. The angel with the broken leg. Now I don't have broken legs, I have broken wings. My wings are broken. How did they get broken? I'm not perfect. I break my angel wings. Maybe someday I'll get new ones. Now I'm thinking about memories. Then my dad, that house had about an acre of land with it. And my dad would plant, he had an apple orchard. He sold apples, and people would come, and tomatoes, and sweet corn. And he had a vegetable stand, and people would come from all around and buy like a farmer's market from him. And he sold that house. I think he sold it when we went down to, no, because we lived in there after we came back. So anyway, he ended up selling the house. He probably needed the money. I don't know why he ever sold that house. It really wasn't big enough for us. We were all getting older. And it only had one the master bedroom and one little bedroom. And we rented a house on the other side of town, on the north side of town. And it was a big old white farmhouse. And it had a master bedroom downstairs and 3 bedrooms upstairs. It was a little bigger. It could hold all of us. And of course, my sister got her own room. I slept in the room that my mother used to... Oh, I got that white line there. My mother would store boxes in, so I always felt like I slept in the storeroom. Always felt sorry for myself that I slept in the storeroom. And my brother had a bed with my mom and dad's master bedroom. He slept in there. He seemed to have his own corner. I think that's just part of the whole. I'm going to leave it as part of the whole. And when my sister graduated from high school, I got my sister's room, and I was so privileged to have that, my own room with pink floral wallpaper, and it faced the window on the south. And we lived in there until my high school year. And then we had to move again. They were going to tear down that house. Our landlord, she sold it. She was an older lady, and she was getting ready to downsize everything. But my dad, they heated with a stove and wood. That's how they heated. And I can remember he knocked and they have a name for that, where here's the stove and the staircase was going up behind. This was the kitchen. They had a big old country kitchen. And then you go out the door into the living room this way, and there was a stairway going up this way. Well, the stove was here, and the chimney. And over the stairway went up this way, and my dad knocked a hole in the wall to let heat up. And that was a thing in some old country houses. And they have a name for that hole in the wall. That I remember when he knocked that hole in the wall, we thought he was going to knock the house down. but he didn't. And we lived in that house my 3rd grade through my freshman year, and then my sophomore year we moved to another small town because she sold the house, so you're going to tear it down. It's all farmland now. Drive by it and there's a cornfield there. But it was a neat old house. It had a longer driveway, and you go up the driveway. It had 2 mulberry trees. And then the summertime, it had all these mulberries on the driveway. We'd ride our bicycles. We never ate them. Well, my brother might have eaten a couple, pulled them off the tree, but I never liked to eat mulberries. Yeah. But I'd like to squish them on my bicycle. And speaking of bicycles, I remember I was just in 2nd or 3rd. I was in 3rd grade because we lived over in that other house on the north side of town. And I can remember sitting on the front porch and saying, I'd be the happiest. I had a little trainer bike, a little 24-inch bike that I could ride. But I said, I'd be the happiest girl in this whole wide world. And I remember saying that. I must have begged for it. I can remember sitting out on that porch and saying I'd be the happiest girl in the whole wide world if I had a big girl bike. And that very day, my dad came home with a blue big girl bike. And I thought, wow, now I'm the happiest girl in the whole wide world. Because I had my big girl bike. And I rode and rode and rode that bike. My brother had a big boy bike. And we would play out in the yard, till the sun went down. My mom would call us in, and it's time to come in now. It's getting dark out. Yep, those were the days. You guys are listening to all my childhood memories. I need to write some of these down. I'm writing down, I'm doing a workbook now of all my Christmas, 100 Christmas memories. But I need to write down some of these memories. I don't know if anybody would ever care, but they're just my childhood memories of growing up. There's the ostrich, and all I have left is the cat. And I'll keep talking about memories while I cut that cat, and then we'll move on. So my sophomore year, we moved to another town, and of course, to me, I was going from a class of 5 in my freshman class to a class of 28, and that scared the dickens out of me. Of course, by the time I graduated high school, we had 28 or 27, about that, in our class. And I went to the university, 40,000. And I was pretty quiet back then. I never saw myself as shy, but everybody else saw me as being shy. I was trying to figure out life back then. I was not a happy camper. And I have to tell you, I found happiness later in life. And I've become a lot more talkative. The internet helped me a lot with going online and talking and hosting groups on the internet, because I'd have to talk to hosts, and I wanted to run my own group, so you have to talk. And of course, eventually, and have a YouTube channel, you got to talk. So that helped me come out of my shell a lot as far as talking. Now you can't shut me up. Oh, you can. I don't talk all the time, but I'm a lot more talkative. I was never good at sports. I can remember gym class. We had to do backflips. And you can blame the falling off the fence and breaking my leg for my fear of backflips. And I can remember I can remember, I must have been sophomore, junior in high school. And they were all trying to convince me to do that backflip. And I was just too scared to do it. I never did it. Finally, he had mercy on me. And I was not a good volleyball player. I sat on the bench a lot. I wanted to play, but I wasn't that good. They didn't put me in a whole lot. Woohoo! And we would have away games where they had a girls' bus and a boys' bus on the away games. And I'd end up sitting by myself. I didn't enjoy them at all. Finally, I just quit going. It wasn't fun. I was not I don't think I was very sociable back then because I was so quiet. And, you know, all the other girls were combing their hair and, you know, getting ready for the game and everything. I sat there, looked out the window at the road as we passed by, in my own world. And finally I was convinced those away games were not for me. And I probably made all my other little friends uncomfortable with my just sitting there and not combing my hair. I was probably the odd one out back then, but that's how it was. I don't think I would change my personality. I don't think I'd change myself if I went back, even though now there's white in there, but I don't want to fussy cut all the little. So there's the kitty cat. You have to see her on white background. So I'm all done fussy cutting what I chose to fussy cut this morning. So let me come out and look at chat. We've got some images to play with. And I think I'll do what Dee Dee did in her collage journal. She flipped through her journal and just put pages down on different pages, and that's probably what I'll do. But I'm going to come out and look at chat. Let's see what time it is. Oh, I've only got 15 minutes. Maybe I'll come back to chat right at the end. I want to put a couple of these images in my book while I'm here. So let's get out my book, because I'll work on this again tonight. Let's choose some images here. Yeah. See, I put a couple in already, like this. Let's grab I don't know what I did with them. Hold on. I want to washi tape that I made. Let's grab one of these. Oh, I like this one. Let's put it over here. Maybe over here goes better. And she did such a great job on the edges of these pages that I'm leaving the edge a little because I don't want to cover up that yumminess. So I'm going to cut this right about here. Now I can cut this tape with these scissors because it's protected on both sides. So it cuts it. I'm cutting the fabric and the paper, and the tape is under it, so it cuts pretty good. And we're going to put that right in here. See if I can get this off without my pen. I'm gonna put it right there. And I'm leaving that dark edge because that's too yummy to cover up. That's too yummy, but it's going to get covered up. And save my release papers because they come in handy. All right, now you can kind of work any creases out. Sometimes they don't come out. This one's being stubborn. I don't know if it's... Yeah, there we go. Use your scissors, kind of smooths it out. All right, let's see, what do I want to put on there? I'm liking this image, but that's going to have to... I've got the red car. I've got the chicken. The squirrel. Really, that cat with the long tail would not look nice on here. What did I do with it? He's right at the top here. Didn't I put him here at the top? I'm going to have to sort these out when I work on this tonight. Where's the cat with the long tail? Look at that. That's yummy. But that'll probably go on a colored page. Cash register. Did he get put on the bottom? Here he is. I could put both those cats. I could put this cat over here. I like that. And maybe this in here. Is that too long? Too wide. Put it like that. And of course you can't tear this fabric once you have that tape on the bottom of it. Yeah, having a hard time getting in there. There we go. So, if I run a few minutes over, I'll be okay because this is Friday. I don't have to quit right at 9. Carol McDonald comes on after me, and she has told me I can go clear till 10 if I want, but my brother turns on the TV. So I usually leave a little after 9 or closer to 9 on Fridays. But we'll finish this. I'm going to look for some calligraphy pens. I don't know if I can get them where we're going shopping. I might have to order them off of, and I'll go through the stash. I might have some in my stash. So let's glue these cats in, and then I can, yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. Now I might take some, I might play with this a little But we're going to just do this right now. I want my glue book or a paper. Where's my glue book? Hold on a minute. This glue book is... We're going to town today. I can pick up another flyer book and throw this one away. I've been using it as a glue book. Now you need to be careful when you're doing these tails and the feet and stuff when you're gluing that with your... And my notepad just went off. I can't see you guys. I'll use my phone when I come out and say goodbye. And I'll finish gluing these cats in, and then I think I'll sign off. I might pick up a couple more glue sticks today. I'm always buying these glue sticks at Walmart, because I know if I don't get them while I can, they won't be available later. Alrighty. And there's some white in there. I can take my pen if I can find it. I'll come back to that. Oh, did his tail get glued? I was afraid of it. I thought I glued it. I could use some of that fine art glitter glue on it, but there we go. Let's do the other one. Be careful you don't rip his tail off. Oh, can I put him up a little higher? Just a teeny bit higher. There we go. All right. So I'm going to come out. We'll work in this more tonight, but I disassembled that book. Did I use this as a... Let me get my phone out. I don't know what I made for my thumbnail last time. Let's go to YouTube. Go to my channel. Playlists, videos. Lives. No, I used the leaves. So this will be my thumbnail. I could use the cats, but I might use the cats tonight, because I might do more to this page. All right. And I fussy cut all these images. I chose one I wanted to keep and what I wanted to cut. And so we'll do some serious work in this journal tonight. All right, let me come out to chat. No, it's 8:57, so I'm right on time. Where's my chat? Let's go to all messages. There we go. Becky said stamps are going up to 78 cents a piece on July the 13th. Wow. Pretty soon we'll be paying $1 for a stamp. I don't understand. I don't understand. 78 cents. Good Lord, soon there will be $1. Yeah, Dar, you and I are thinking the same thing. Dar says, my high school friend had a dog named Stella. Aw. Becky says, the poor girl here is here because her grandmother is dying and she wanted to spend some time with her before she passes. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, Carol's not streaming. She has an appointment today. Thank you, Kimberly. Well, I might do a little bit more work in here then, because I can go until 9:45. So I might do a little bit more. We'll take some time to catch up with chat, and then I'll put some more images in here. Thank you for telling me that, Kimberly, and good morning. Good morning, good morning. Brenda says, Dar. Hi, Brenda. Welcome in. She says, Dar, Cheshire. She was a great dog. She also ate tomatoes right off the vine. I should have suspected her as the berry thief long before I caught her. Oh, dear. A dog that eats tomatoes right off the vine. What kind of a dog, Becky? How dare they interrupt their schedule? What's going on? Becky said, and she smells like her big dog, and the dog stays out in our yard. She's staying overnight. Cat days of summer. Becky says, Kimberly, we have crosswords between cats, as Greg's cats have been in since we have company. Oh, little Cole's a troublemaker. He was so cute when he was a kitty. He turned into a spoiled brat. Becky says, Cole. I loved Cole. Brenda says, who besides me would like to sit on a porch with Meri, listening to her and trading tales and adventures? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun to sit on a big old wide porch, big old wide covered porch with our tablecloth, our white tablecloth and our lemonade, and just sit and shoot the breeze with each other? Wouldn't that be fun? We have a squeaky porch swing. I sometimes sit out there and chat, but not very often. Usually now when I'm on the front porch, it's because I'm resting between yard work sessions. Dar says, that's cute, Brenda. The dog ate them. Becky, you recognize that. Oh, that's sweet. Brenda says, in 2024, we had a drought and no berries. This is the first year in about 7 years that I'll get a good amount. But I wish Stella was here to eat them. Oh, dear. Brenda says, they do, Kimberly. Let's see. What's going on? They do, Kimberly. I used to get a few blueberries. I thought early birds were getting them. Then I caught my daughter's dog happily eating them. She passed in 2023. Aw. And there's Janet Nash. She's probably gone, but hi, Janet. It's good to see you. Hi, and bye, Vanessa. Vanessa was here. Oh, a gift membership. Who gave out gifts? Becky? Did you give them out, or Becky sent one? Meri, Becky sent a gift membership. Oh. And Vanessa received a gift membership by Becky. Oh, thank you, Becky. That was so sweet. And Angel Rose is Vanessa. She won it. Aw. Hi and bye, Vanessa. She couldn't stay. Thank you, Becky, for doing that. That's so sweet. Let's do one. Becky did one. Let's do one. Let's gift yeah, if I had $100, I'd gift 50 of them. We're gonna gift one. I can forego I'll make my brother buy my lunch today. One tap buy. Payment is successful. Who won it? Who won it? Patty Rose. Patty Rose received a gift membership. Patty Rose 106. Hi, Joyce. If you want to figure out how to remove those numbers off of your name, YouTube's been plugging numbers off of, on the back of names, and they put that @ sign on there. The way I understand it from reading is they think it points it out more. But you can go to like your channel name, like go back to your main channel page, and see there's a little edit button on here. Go down a little. I don't know how it looks on a laptop or a computer screen, but go to there and you can change your handle name. Like if that said My Meri Art 1400, I could change it back. You just hit your button and you can alter your channel name, your handle. Thank you, Becky, for doing that. And Patty Rose, enjoy your membership. And that gives you the membership. When you get a free gift membership, it's not to the first room, it's to the second room. So you'll get to see the project that we're working on. And you're welcome to join in. And I want to mention again, let me go to it out here on my channel. If you're a member of the Fib Diggity group, the Fib Diggity creators, we're working on an altered book, and I've been sending out stickers. And if you go to my posts, and you'll have to scroll down, let me go to my posts here, come on. You'll have to scroll down, let me get rid of my chat right now. You'll have to scroll down several things because I can't move my posts up. It's down several posts. Look for the one, it's a month ago, and it said, this is a list of Fib Diggity creators. That's the second room. It cost $1.99 a month. And who signed up to receive stickers. And the book I'm using is in the public domain. And they're Harrison Fisher sticker, the illustrations, and they're of like ladies in the 20s and mostly the early 1900s. And I've been sending out stickers, but you have to sign up on this post. And I might take this post, I wish I could move it up. There might be a way to do that on your laptop, but I can't pin that post to the top. I wish I could. And I'm no longer on Facebook as a group. I took it off because it was too much for me. And I was mad at Facebook. They did some nasty stuff to Arlene, and they later did the same thing to me. And I almost left Facebook because of it. We were putting our names on address lists, like Beth Schuler, and it was Beth Schuler's list that it happened to me on. I was adding my name as a comment under the address list, and it said, it zapped me. It gave me a, it gave me a warning type thing and said, don't do that again because we think you're trying to get too many friends. And I'm going, what kind of crap is that? I'm on Facebook to get friends. I've only got 700 friends, and there are people who have a lot more friends out there than I do. And they zapped Arlene the same way. I think she was taking care of my address list on my page, and it zapped her for the same reason. They said, we think you're trying to get too many friends. And when you try to get to somebody on Facebook to tell, hey, I was just adding my name to an address list, you get all these bots. You don't get a real person, and you never get an answer back. I was so frustrated, I just deleted the whole group. I just said, I'm not putting up with this craziness, and I deleted my whole group when it happened to Arlene, but then it happened to me, And I contacted Beth, but I got, by members in Beth's group, they got mad at me because I said I'm not, I said, you'll have to get my address off the comment. And a couple of the members in Beth's group said, well, we think you should add your name to the address list. And I'm going, I tried. And of course, Beth, she deleted the whole thing, you know, and she added my name. But Facebook made me pretty mad when they did that craziness. And truthfully, I think at that time they were attacking people who have a faith. There's a lot of liberal people over there, and I'm not talking just moderately liberal that you can talk to, sense, you know, have a conversation with. You can't have a conversation with some of those people, you know, and especially if they're bots, you know. And I never got it resolved. I finally just deleted my whole group. I'm venting. But anyway, if you want to, you can, if you're a member of the creator group and you want these stickers, you only have to add your name. You don't have to add, I'll need your address. If I don't have your address, I will contact you. But you add your name to this list. And there's 10 comments here they've added. And then I add, once I see your comment in there, I will go in to my list and add your name down here. So these are people that every time I make that sheet of stickers, I send them to these people. They don't have to add their name back every month. So that's kind of what we're doing in the Fib Diggity Creators Group. And sorry about that vent about Facebook, but it still makes me mad. We think you're trying to get too many friends. I'm going, isn't that the point of Facebook, is to make friends? And besides, I was just adding my name to an address list. I wasn't harassing anybody trying to get their address or anything. Just craziness. You're very welcome, Brenda. Susie Craft Room Studio, welcome in. Yeah, I've been venting a little. Sorry about that. Joyce says Joe Jubu, and Patty Rose. Patty Rose 106 got my membership. And Becky sent a membership up above here, and Vanessa got it. Brenda says, we only get mail on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Really? They say it's because there's no money to pay a full-time carrier. What it does to make the carrier have to run part of her route drive back to post office to get the rest and go take up where she left off. Wow. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Becky said, that's one thing I would love to add to this house. A deep front porch where we could sit and enjoy a range. Wouldn't that be fun? To live in a house with a beautiful front porch area. It doesn't even have to be screened in. I'd love to have a sunroom too. In your dreams. A deep front porch where we could sit and enjoy a rainstorm. That would be cool. Stamps are going up. I read all of these. I got off on a vent. I apologize. Let's see. I think I was up to where Becky, this is where I quit. And then I went and added and welcome in to the people who won the membership areas. Welcome, welcome. Now, you are only a gift membership for 1 month. If you want to continue, you have to sign up. They'll send you a notice saying, you know, do you want to continue? Then, you know, it's $1.99 for the second room and 99 cents for the first room. And those are the 2 lowest tiers. I made them the lowest amounts because I know a lot of my people just don't have money to toss around. I see some of these memberships, $6, $7 a month. I don't sign up for those. I can't afford it. So I make mine the lowest amount that I can. And we do live streams twice a month. And I try to send out things to the creators group with the altered book that we're doing. And I need to do, I'm getting ready to do a project in July with the first room, which is 99 cents, and it'll be a video. It won't be a live stream. I only do the live streams in the second room. But I do all my normal live streams unless I oversleep. Becky said, Brenda says, Becky, I did the same thing on the third or fourth time I dived. My nose was also broke. No more diving for me. I was probably 10. Brenda says, Kimberly, I have 5 blueberry bushes. They're talking about the dogs eating. Becky says, I will never dive into water. The first time I ever dove, I was little, and I hit the bottom of the pool and took the skin off my nose and chin. I refused to ever try again. I was kind of scared about diving too. I jumped off the high board a couple times, but it was just like walking out and going down. I was off the high board. I was afraid to do the high dives. But when I was in the university, up at the women's PE building was kind of close to our dorm, and I would go swimming a lot. I enjoyed swimming. I was not good at swimming. I don't have the breath, the heartbeat to, like my grandniece, she was up to like swimming. I don't know if she swims anymore, but she was swimming like 90 or 77 laps one day. And I'm going, 77? I can hardly make it half the pool. But I don't have the strong heartbeat that it takes. But when I was at the university, I loved to go swimming a lot, and I would jump off the low board. I'm just kind of, I just didn't go down off the low board. I would kind of dive in, and I kind of enjoyed that. I think I kind of bored the lifeguards because a lot of times I was the only one in the pool. But I like to dive off the low board. My kids have asked me to write things down. I have a book to do it in, but I haven't started. You know, that's the same position I'm in. I bought a book off of Amazon to write memories in. And I think one thing that prevents me from writing them down is that I scribble a lot. And I scribble out and cross out. And that's why I started those workbooks, because I can do all my thinking and scribbling in a workbook and then copy them over. But now, what I'm thinking about doing, like I chattered in here about all my memories, I can go to my notepad, and I've showed this before, my notepad, and start a new, let's get out of my stream here. Like, I'm just going to call this test 06. What is today? The 26th? 27th today. 27, 25. And then I can go up here to this plus sign, and it does a voice recording. So I can turn that on. I'm going to put only this time. And see, it started a little voice recording up here. I wish they'd get rid of that outline font. I hate the outline font. It's hard to read, especially on mobile. I'm at 12 seconds now. But see, I can just chatter away. I can talk about my memory. What memory do I have? Well, let's say I'm sorry I vented on Facebook. Okay, so now I'm at 26 seconds. I can go here, and let's see, I think I have to stop it somehow. Here. And then I clicked on that, and it stopped it. It's not recording anymore. But over here, it has a voice 01. And here it has a T to transcript. And it's transcribing it into English. It's at 46%. And I can copy that. Copy all. And then I can paste it in here. Did I paste it? Let's get out of that. Yeah. See? And this is everything I said here. And then I think I can select everything. Let's do a select all. And I think I can change my font. Where is it? It's right here. Font background, font color, 18 size. Someplace you can change the font. But see, it recorded everything, and then I can go back and say I'm writing down some memories. It can write it all down, and I don't have to type it all in. It says, and see, it started a little. I started a little voice recording up here. I wish they'd get rid of that outline font. I hate the outline bond. That's supposed to be font. When I talk sometimes, it doesn't hear my words right, and I think YouTube does the same thing. I've caught it a couple times. I don't know if it's the phone microphone doing that or something in there, because that should be outline font, not outline bond. It's hard to read, especially on mobile. I'm at 12 seconds now, but I see that I just chatter away. I can talk about my memory, and I got memory play there. And what memories do I have? Well, let's say, I'm sorry, I dented. D-E-N-T-E, that's supposed to be vented. So I'd have to go in and edit it. But I've got the gist of it down here that I could copy it over, and I'm going to get out of this. I could copy it over and edit it, copy it over maybe into a Word document and change the font and make it pretty and print it out. And then I could have a printed version of my memories. And then I could do an illustration to go with it. And do a book of childhood memories. Or just a book of memories. It doesn't have to be childhood. Let's see, Brenda's talking here. Brenda says, my daughter used a bandsaw to cut out 3 layers of different woods. The back is a cross, the middle is Jesus, and then a frame and a little lamb in front. It got the best show at the county fair. Aw, that's cool. Congratulations to your daughter, your daughter. I posted a picture of it with the big ribbon she won with the caption, Jesus takes the best to show. Oh, how cool, at the county fair. Amen. Facebook booted me for hate comments. See, I think, now I'm not blaming everybody on Facebook for being liberal, but I think there are some very liberal people who created these bots who just think because you mention Jesus, they think it's hate speech. That's not hate speech. When we say Jesus, we're talking about our Savior, our Lord, our faith. And there are people out there who think that you have a faith that you hate others. That's not true. See, and that's one thing I hate. I don't care for Facebook that way. Mostly what I do now, I did post a post that was because I wanted to post where I stood, but most of my posts are just sharing now. You know, I'll see a picture or something, or I don't even put up my own pictures anymore on Facebook. If I do, it'll be very occasionally. I don't put up Instagram pictures anymore because I don't like some of the liberal bots on there. And I think they were programmed by people that had very liberal attitudes. Now, I don't have anything against, oh, my brother's in there coughing and sneezing. I don't have anything against liberal people. I'm an independent. If I think a liberal, if something liberal, if I agree with it, I agree with it. But I don't agree with this thing of, you know, if I want to talk about the word Jesus, I'm not spreading hate, you know, and I think some of these ultra-liberal people have programmed some of these bots. If you use certain words, you're spreading hate, which is just not true. And that bothers me a lot. I think that Mark Zuckerberg needs to clean a lot of that crap up. And especially if you want to talk to somebody on just like with that, I added my name to an address list and I got zapped. I got a warning that don't ever do that again. You're trying to make too many friends. Well, I couldn't talk to a human about it. I just got into this loop of the bots. And you can't straighten that mess out with Facebook. At least with YouTube, you can put in a help message, and most of the time they'll come back and, you're talking to a real person. It just bothers me to no end. But I don't want to leave Facebook because I have a lot of my friends out there that I've known for years and years and years. I don't want to lose those friendships because they're not on YouTube. So I have just resorted to not posting very many. I do occasionally, and sometimes I occasionally, like I just recently posted a post that could be controversial, but it was where I stood on issues and why, and it was only meant to say this is where I'm at. It's not trying to attack you where you're at or what you believe, it's what I believe. And that was received pretty good. I only had one post that somebody believed differently, and that was okay with me. I didn't, you can believe how you want to believe, but don't snot on me because I don't believe the same thing. So Facebook is kind of, if I didn't have so many friends out there that I wanted to stay friends with, I would leave Facebook altogether. I don't like how they operate. But that's just me. That's my belief. And I've left several groups out there for personal, just because I need more personal time. I found myself joining groups here and joining groups there and now I'm still a member of the online tatting group because they moderate their posts. I like that. They if you submit a post to at least and they like to keep it all centered on tatting. And so if I posted my belief about politics or something in that group, it would not get published. So they keep it all about tatting. So I'm a member of their group. I'm a member of a few groups out there that I don't participate in anymore. And I've left several groups just because I find myself getting tied up in it all. So, let's see. What else is going on there? Let me go down to the bottom. I mostly post pictures of odd things, animals, sunsets, or post things that have happened during my day and comment on other people's posts. Yeah, now I'll share posts. And most of the times they're quotes or they're pictures that mean something to me. Aunt Beck, she wasn't saying that at all. What did Becky say? Not all liberals are non-Christian. That's true, Becky. That's a true statement. There are liberals out there that I like as friends. And, I've said several times, there's the very ultra liberals who say you can't post your name and address on an address list because you're trying to make too many friends. That is uncalled for. But now there are other people, like Becky has an address list. Beth Schuler has, well, it was Beth Schuler I was trying to post on. But Beck, that is true. Not all liberals are non-Christian. That's very true. And, yeah, bless your brother. He's been in there sneezing. Thank you, Juju. Yeah. Becky makes a good point, and that's I can agree with that. But there are a lot of ultra liberals who hate Christians. They just hate Christians. And they think Christians hate. Well, they're hating the people that they hate, that they think are hating. I think that Christians have taken an unfair rap on Facebook. And in a lot of the media out there, a lot of the social media. But not all of them. It's a give and take. And I will say, there are some ultra-conservative sites that I have left, just simply because they hate on the liberals. And just like what Becky was saying, not all liberals are non-Christian. Not all liberals are ultra-liberal socialists. or ultra liberal haters. There are a lot of liberals out there that have good points of view. And I used to be a Democrat. I walked away from the Democrat Party and I did not join the Republican Party because I'm not an ultra conservative, I'm an independent. I like to make up my mind based on the issues. And I'm just as apt to agree with a Democrat issue as I am with a Republican issue. I don't take an issue just because of the party that I happen to belong to. And the same way to the independents. In fact, Nebraska does not have an independent party. They have a nonpartisan party. And that's kind of describes what I am. I'm not independent because we don't recognize independence in Nebraska. They don't have a party here. I think you have to have certain rules to become a party in the state of Nebraska, and I don't think the independents have met that. So we're considered, in Nebraska, we're considered nonpartisan. And that really describes how I feel. When I go to vote, if I feel like a democratic value or a democratic law that's supported by the Democrat Party, if I agree with it, I'll vote for it. Though I don't agree with it, I may or may not vote with the Republican one. It depends on the issue. Somebody's out on bond. Who's out on bond? Yes, Becky. I hope she's still out there. Becky showed her dragon that she found a dragon crochet. I think it's a corner-to-corner Afghan. And she changed the colors of it. It's a little dragon, and she crocheted it. It's just darling. She found it on Yarnspirations, a dragon Afghan. Brenda says, Becky, your little dragon is adorable. I wish I could get my hands to get along with yarn and crochet and knitting. Yeah, and I'm having trouble with my shuttle tatting. I would love to learn to shuttle tat, but my hands are not cooperating. This hand, you're supposed to move this finger up. Now, if I hold on to all of these fingers, I can move that finger. But you hold your, it's this finger, it's not. You hold your thread here in the pinch. And if I hold these two fingers close to the pinch, I can sort of move that finger. But you don't normally hold it there. When she pulls that loop tight, she moves her finger up and all my fingers come up. And I think it's because I broke this little finger, broke it playing volleyball. And I can't move this finger without those two going with it. And I'm having all sorts of trouble. I was playing with it this morning. And I think if I turn my hand a certain way, and I can't remember how I did it, but I can't, this one, when you watch her Tammy, on the online tatting class, she's teaching a beginner shuttle. When she pulls her stitch tight to the thread, to the core thread, she pulls it with this finger. And I can't do that. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to do the same thing. And I haven't done it yet. I can do the first half stitch pretty good, but the second half, it knots up on me. Oops. What else on here? I got off on a spiel again on Facebook. My daughter used a bandsaw. Yeah, let's see, what else? Kimberly says, hi, Susie. Mary, Wednesday, I got the bookmark you sent me. Joyce was here. Juju, she's saying hi. I think it notifies them, so that's good. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Oh, it notifies people. It does, Kimberly. When you gift a membership, it sends an email to them. And they can choose to, they have the membership out there. They can choose to, they get it for a whole month. So they can choose to participate or they can ignore it. It's up to them. When somebody gifts it, that's okay with me. You know, they may have other things going on in their life. The one thing that I can say about YouTube is I wish that they would let us choose who we want to gift to. Because I would say that the majority of the people that have gifted memberships are people who do not come in here very often. They don't visit my channel that often. And YouTube chooses who to pick. And they always pick somebody who really doesn't care. I would rather choose somebody who wants to be a member than some person out there that YouTube picked who visited my channel twice. Maybe they were interested in some urban sketch video or something. But YouTube will pick anybody, and they generally pick people who really don't care. And that kind of bothers me. I wish they'd let me choose, because I know the people. I know the people who come into my chat. I would like to pick people who are here frequently, who maybe need a membership, who want a membership but can't afford it. And see, that bothers me about YouTube. I get hot and bothered. Oh dear. Brenda says, we only get mail on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Stamps are going up on July the 13th. The poor girl's here because her grandmother is dying and she wanted to spend some time. I never did figure that one out. Staying overnight. Kimberly, we had some crosswords between the cats. Who besides me would like to sit on a front porch? I might get venting on that front porch, and you might take that pitcher of lemonade and throw it in my face. Cat fight. In 2024, we had drought and no berries, Brenda said. I didn't see who was visiting Becky. Kimberly, we've had crosswords between the cats, cat fight. Becky says hi with her crown. And here's where she gifted a membership. Becky, I did the same thing the third or fourth time I dived. They were talking about diving. We covered that. Janet Nash was here. She probably had to go to lunch. Mary got venting, and she probably had enough of it. Writing them down. Yeah, writing those memories down would be... Becky was giggling your favorite color. What time is it? It's 9:30. Janet Nash says, who else was an angel in the school play? Yeah. And I can't go up any further. Let's go down to the bottom. Angie says, it keeps popping me about to top chat. I wish this app would leave things alone, Angie says. Becky laughed. Becky probably got not mad at me, tired of listening to me. Message retracted. I think we just need to remember that what makes America great is working together. Until we quit labeling one another and start working together again, we'll never be successful. She makes a good point. We all have our attitudes, and I know Becky and I think differently on a lot of things, but, she still comes into my chat. So she probably got tired of everything and left. She says, I got to go get some things done. And that's okay. It's okay to think differently. But that doesn't mean that either one of us can't express our opinions. If we differ, we can either say, I disagree, or let's agree to disagree. She makes a good point. But I get mad. I don't get mad at people so much as I get mad at Facebook for the crap that they do. The crap that they did to Arlene really makes me mad. And then they turned around and did it to me. I deleted my entire group. I said, I'm not putting up with this crap. And most of it is bot controlled. So Brenda says, that's me, Mary. I believe people can believe as they wish. I have face-to-face friends that don't believe all the same things. We've learned to respect that and coexist. And that's what Becky's saying. And that's really what I said in my post when I posted my one post a week or so ago, of how I believed about things. I said, you can believe what you want to believe. This is not attacking your beliefs. This is letting folks know where I stand. And most people think that when you post something like that or you voice something like that, that you're trying to convince them, and you're not. You're just trying to say, this is what I think. And you're not trying to persuade anybody to your point of view. But a lot of people think that when you express your point of view, that they think you're trying to convince them to think like you do. And that's not at all what I'm trying to do. And I'm still mad at Facebook. I don't post on Instagram anymore. I very seldom post things on Facebook as far as pictures. I mostly put them on my post tab on YouTube, if you want to see what I'm working on. And let's go to that. Let's get out of this and go to that. I don't have much time left here. Let's go to my post tab. Post tab. So, like here, I posted my tassel that I made with the queen stitch. I posted that. Let's go back. This is an AI post that I shared. This lady was talking about AI. She makes some very good points about how to identify if art is artificial intelligence or if it's done by a human. She makes some very good points, but her title says, AI tried to make art, I had to fix it. Now, to me, she was trying to make the AI art look like her idea of realism. And she was criticizing, and she makes some good points about how to identify art. But, you know, even us, like that could have been, Meri Abrams tried to make art, I had to fix it. You know, AI is not a human, so it's going to make mistakes, but I'm human and I make mistakes. My art is not all perfect either. And a lot of art, take Picasso. Picasso, of course, has his own style now, but his art certainly wasn't realistic. And everything that she did in there, like she says, oh, this person has 4 hands. Let's remove 2 of them. Well, maybe that was a painter, a real life painter, who wanted 4 hands on that picture, only it was AI. What if she tried to fix the real artist painting that, just say some real artist that's alive today, I off the top of my head can't think of it. Let's say Dee Willingham painted a human with 4 hands. Now Dee certainly knew what she was doing, and let's say Dee Willingham tried to make art, I had to fix it. I had to remove 2 of those hands because humans only have 2 hands. Well, Dee wanted 4 hands on that picture. So I disagreed with her there. And we had a little bit of a conversation in there about it. But she makes a very good point of how to identify AI art. And if you get in and study AI art, the other comment on this was about people who tried to say that AI art is not good because it copies from all the other artists. It goes out on the internet and it searches all these pictures, and if you have art out there, it might grab some of my art and put an element of my art, maybe an eye off of a drawing I did, may go into their painting or something. And I can see it goes and grabs things without permission of the artist. I kind of halfway agree with that, because I think that as AI develops, real artists who don't want their arts, even an eye taken off of their picture, who don't, well, sometimes it's more than an eye, it might be an entire character or something, they should have the ability to when that AI goes out and grabs their picture, there should be an option there that the artist could put on, that it would have, generators would have to check that option and say, oh, we can't use this picture. It's not, the artist doesn't want me to grab that person off of her picture or any element off of that picture. and not use it. And I don't think the industry itself, there has to be a lot of agreement. First of all, the artist who uploads a picture has to set that setting. And that's going to say, well, I don't want to take the time to set any setting. I just want to put my picture up there, and they should leave it alone. Well, how are they going to know to leave it alone? You know? And then the AI, the people who write all these AI says, oh, we have to develop, we have to make this change, we have to hire all these computer scientists to make the change, and we have to install it. And then there's probably several different AI generators out there, and they all have to do this. So there's a lot of things that people have to agree on. But I do kind of agree that AI should not be taking art, that where there has to be some working together, and I don't think that the AI industry is there yet. That's kind of my thought on that. Or I'm saying no stream. I wasn't feeling good about a month ago. No early streams, no member live stream. And this is where you want stickers, you need to sign up. Here's a Jacqueline sale. Jacqueline's selling tonight at 4 p.m. Live stream. Here's where I did some tatting. This was the front side, back side tatting piece that I did. It's kind of bright. I put that up. So I post different things on my post tab. Jacqueline sale. Live stream. I think that's another Jacqueline sale with, here's a tatted piece that I did. So you'll see most of my art going on my post tab. Now I don't have the community tab set up yet. I'm getting there. So it is 9:45. Let me come in. Get rid of the ads. Hi. Oh, that's Angie. Let's see. Dar says, we can see you, Angie. I'm not a good crafter, but I try. Do you all get mad at me for talking a lot? No, Angie, we don't get mad at you for talking. I've been shooting off my mouth for the last half hour. Talking things through relieves any fearful thoughts. Jen, I try my best not to categorize people and things. I listen and ask questions. My friends and I have had some heated conversations, but leave it friends. And I have to say the same thing. Not all the time. I have friends that I've had differences of opinion yet, and we're still friends. I've had friends that I have different opinions on, and we're not friends anymore. You know, it has to be a mutual feeling. So that's just human, you know. And I have friends that I've had disagreements with, and we've left each other alone for a long time, and we're friends again. We kind of had to set up our boundaries of what we can talk about and what we can't. And we're still friends, you know. We just don't talk about the same things anymore. What else is going on? Becky left. Becky had to go get some things done. She makes some good points. Becky and I don't agree on everything, but we agree on a lot. And I will say one thing with Becky. She knows her stuff. She makes some very, very good suggestions here in chat. And she's always, her and Allie K both are kind of my math fact checkers on YouTube. If I say something dumb or wrong, you know, they'll say, no, Mary, well, just like that begonia geranium. I thought I bought begonias. I bought geraniums. And Becky spotted it right away. She said, Mary, those aren't begonias, those are geraniums. I'm going, no, I bought begonias. Well, they were geraniums. So, I don't mind that. I don't mind when people correct. I might be a little stubborn about it first, saying, no, I bought begonias. Well, I did go back and buy begonias, but... All right. Well, I've I voiced my opinion about Facebook. I'm sorry if I offended anybody out there, but I still stand by how I feel about it. I haven't left Facebook. I just don't. I post mostly quotes, shares stuff out on Facebook. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. My brother's going to turn on the TV. He likes to watch Price is Right in the mornings. We're going to town. I have some things I need to get done. So, have a great day, everybody. I think Barb Owen will be on if she streams. Sometimes she doesn't stream. I don't know what her schedule is. And let's see, Dana, who else is on? Friday afternoons. Barb Owen is stuck in my head. I think Art Junkie streams tonight. I'll stream at 7:30 tonight. So, have a great day, and if you can tolerate me, I'll try not to chat so much. We're going to work more in this journal. I'm loving these pages. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.